But when he cannot defend, he have to offense. And that is the mission. Besides this famous profession, we have priests, we have teachers and doctors. Contrary to lawyer, a medical doctor is trained to save life. So he has to treat his patient regardless of race, ethnic or religion, no discrimination, poor or rich. A doctor is trained to do that job. How about teacher? A teacher is trained to make their students good citizen, do everything a teacher can, never hide any knowledge, do the best he can teach. A priest, he pray for anyone in suffering, in despair, in hopeless, to get rid of misery. That a priest. And then there is another group, and that part of that is among you. It's leader. Leader is trained to lead people in the right path toward peace, harmony, and prosperity to build a strong nation. You are contestant. In general, we become a leader. But every contestant wants to win. But in order to win, you will not focus on winning. You should focus only on what is right. The winning in economic terms is a sub-product. It's a byproduct of what is right. Maintain your principle. Do not try to win like a lawyer. Lawyers are generally a good speaker, but leader as well is good speaker. So separate yourself from winning when it is wrong. That means be fair to yourself, be fair to your opponent, be fair to the public, and be fair to the judge. So do not make the judge so difficult to make judgment. So one advice to the contestant and become winner. Do not make yourself, I know everyone after you win a contest, you become so proud of your achievement. I'm a good speaker. I show with my talent. I cannot contest with you the way I see the profile already, but I have experience and wisdom. So what I did, I want to share my wisdom. Do not make your habit of winning a habit. You see what I mean? You win one case, do not seek for another winning, for fame. Winning, you can wait. Be patient until the right opportunity appears, and then you may try to do it again. Do not do this contest, and 3 weeks later you see another place is having contest and show up there to show it's not worthwhile. So be modest. And thank you if you take my advice. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ko Penh, for such a humble and inspiring speech. Now, may we invite Mr. Ngat Sukla, President of Phanya Sastra Student Senate, to deliver the opening remarks. Mr. Ngat Sukla, please.
Okay, one more word of advice. Thank you. Be modest. That doesn't mean you are a coward. But look the proper opportunity to go to a contest. Do not go to fight. The big champion never fight in the wrong or cheap place. Looking for honor to fight. Like a friend say this, avant sans gloire on triomphe, avant sans péril on triomphe sans gloire. Anyone know friends? Vaincre sans péril on triomphe sans gloire. Winning without risk, your triumph is not glorious. That's what I want to say to you, contestant. I was disappointed with some of the contestants in the past, that winning one case, run to another case, and you forget everything else. Focus on your study, focus on your education. This is one side of your glory, but do not forget what you have in goal, as goal in your life. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Ko Penh, for your such a humble and inspiring speech. Now, may we invite Mr. Ngat Sukla, the President of Phanya Sastra Student Senate, to deliver his opening remarks. Mr. Ngat Sukla, please.
Respected venerables, Dr. Ko Penh, founding father and president of Panchastra University of Cambodia, honorable guests, honorable sponsors, judges, and ladies and gentlemen. Debating and public speaking affect change. Of course, I am so honored to be here today. In many more ways than one, I am so delighted to share with you Panchastra Student Senate aspirations and sterling philosophy, which basically are associated with the organization prize for academic excellence. Leadership, involvement, and engagement, as well as responsive and responsible governance. Past leadership strives to create role model students through hands-on campus and community outreach. Activities instilling high sense of responsibility, commitments, citizenship, stewardship, and accountability. Past motto is commitment to morality. Ladies and gentlemen, commitment to morality. We believe education, leaders without morality is nothing. Because how you use education in the right way. Past adds moral value to the student university life. It envisages that education and morality coexist to synergize the holistic well-being of the student, bringing about enhanced discretion rather than classroom knowledge, conquest of the inner rather than the outer self, and a life of abundance rather than scarcity. Our today's objectives are to give a platform to the potential PUC students to show their talents, to promote debating and public speaking culture in Cambodia, to encourage PUC students to research, to find out the scientific resolutions and scientific analysis related to environments, education, social enterprise, and policy making. Contestants and members of the House. Once upon a time, there were two rosters fighting each other to grab a hand. មានមនកកពីរចូលទៅដើមមេមន់មួយនៅក្នុងព្រៃ Each of them tried very hard to win and to get a hand. 1 hour, the result came. The one that lost ran away to the forest, and the one that won, they are very happy. They saw a lot of activity to show the hands and to boast a hand that I am the winner. And it fly up to the head and crow very, very loudly. Immediately, there was a big eagle. The big eagle was flying to find a food. When all chickens, hens, and rooster saw the eagle, they ran away to the forest. But the winner did not escape. Actually, the normal day they escape, but during that day they do not escape. Suddenly, the eagle ate the rooster. So, we learn from the story that win or lose is just the nature of life. Do not too much proud for those who win. And do not feel so sad for those who not win. Actually, all of you win already before you come here. And you learn a lot from research, from debating and public speaking. Yes, what's the great opportunity to be here on the stage today? Because all of you will become the leaders. And of course, the leaders are for change. Because the real leaders, before they make the decision, they find out the scientific resolution and analysis. And then, your decision will affect your lives better, your family, your society better, your country, and at the end, the world is better as well. And Dr. Kolpeng, founding father of PUC as well as PASS, we believe education and morality must be grow together. The leaders that do not have morality, they will kill the country and kill the people. So, your leadership and come from the right way, the right place. It will use for benefit for Cambodia and the world. Again, PASS Pansastra Student Senate is an integral part of our PUC, where loving kindness, compassion, and care supreme. We are always conscious of Buddha's philosophy, Buddha's wisdom. If we fail to look after others when they need help, who will look after us? Hence, indifference begets indifference. Loving kindness generates loving kindness too. We do welcome all prospective and incoming students to our modest office to interact with our members, executive members, board members and advisors. We are always at your advice, at your service, to address your need and to provide your assistance. As past president, it is not I, but we, who make things happen. It is not our wishful thinking, but our bigger dreams that lead us to be innovative, transformative, and trustworthy leaders of society. To conclude, thanks again, Dr. Kolpeng, honorable judge, sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, that today is Sunday and venerable monks. But you do not spend your time to go out to relax. You use your time to be here, to learn, and to contribute. Please give a bigger clap to yourself. Thanks again, PUC, that always provide a very comfortable place to us, organizing committee, and MEDI as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngai Sokla, for such a powerful speech. We would like to make it clear that the content of today's competition is for academic purposes only. It's for academic purposes only. It's not politically related. It's not politically related or whatsoever. We strongly believe that all of you are waiting for this exciting moment. Therefore, we would like to give the floor to Mr. Moderator Thiên Sarun and Mr. Timer Lan Sreng Liang in order to start the competition right now. Welcome.
Thank you so much, MC. So first of all, I would like to pay my high respect to Venerable Monks, our founding father, Dr. Kolpeng, and just ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure for me to be the moderator today. And I would like to extend the very warm welcomes to all of you for this debating and public speaking contest 2017. Then I hope that today all of you will learn a lot, and we also line up for all of you to be fruitful and engaging for our event. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, I would like to introduce our judge for debate for the semi-final round. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Phil Tabeyoyong, Professor, Faculty of Social Science and International Relations. Professor, please come to our judging table. Thank you so much. Next, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Ain Kim San, Associate Dean and Professor for Graduate School of Management and Economics. Thank you so much. Next, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Klok Dara, Professor of Faculty of Law and Public Affairs. Thank you so much, Judge. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this chance to appreciate all the selected candidates that have been through to this stage of debating and public speaking live. They have tried their best to be admitted by our selecting committee. Then they passed the elementary round, and right now they have the chance to be on the stage for this semi-final round. And one of the team will have the chance to grab the champion for this event. So congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, may I introduce you for the first team for this semi-final rounds. Please welcome Team Iceberg and Laser BB to be on the stage. Thank you so much. Just ladies and gentlemen, now I'd like our contestants to introduce themselves by addressing their name and their role. So please start from the proposition team first, please.
First of all, I would like to pay my high respect to Honorable Mang and respect to Dr. Golpeng, Professor, Lecturer, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Duong Ratana. I am the Prime Minister of the proposition team. Thank you very much.
First of all, let me pay my high respect to Honorable Mang, the founder of Vinyasastra University of Cambodia, Dr. Golpeng, respected judges, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tonle. I am the Deputy Prime Minister. Thank you very much.
Very good afternoon and pay my high respect to Dr. Golpeng and honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, and PUC family. My name is Nguyen Dara. I am the member of the proposition team. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to pay my high respect to Honorable Mang, respected Dr. Golpeng, and all ladies and gentlemen in this house. I am Mani Vijasa, a leader of opposition team.
First of all, I want to pay the high respect to Honorable Mang, respected judges, respected Dr. and PUCer. My name is Kim Gay. I'm the deputy leader of proposition team. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to pay my high respect to Honorable Mang, honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Song Sinek and I am the member of opposition team.
Thank you so much for both teams. Ladies and gentlemen, before we really get down to our debate competition semi-final rounds, ladies and gentlemen, let me brief you precisely about our debating procedure. This debate is called primary debate. And each team has 3 members. One represents the government, which composed of Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, and a member of the government. And the other side represents opposition, which composed of the leader of opposition, deputy leader of opposition, and a member of the opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, the first speaker, second speaker, and third speaker will have 5 minutes to present their arguments. And after that, each speaker from both sides, they will come back again to give the reply speech with only 3 minutes. And it will start first for the first speaker from proposition team first. Ladies and gentlemen, in debate, the contestant can raise their hands or stand up to ask for the POI. And each speaker can either accept by reply the word yes please or by a gesture. And they also can reply with the word no thanks or by a gesture to reject for POI. When the POI is accepted, the time must be stopped. But it will be running as usual when the speaker open their mouths to respond. Ladies and gentlemen, for the timer, when the bell rings once, it means they still have 1 minute remains to continue their speech. And when the bell rings twice, it means their time is run out. And the bell will ring multiple times when the speaker tries to overlap the giving times. Ladies and gentlemen, as the moderators, I'd like to reserve the right to interrupt the speaker if they are trying to overlap the times or when they give the question which is not straight to the point. And for the judging criteria, both teams will be scored on the manner, matter, and method. And for the judge only based on what is being presented to you. Judge specific knowledge shall not influence the decision. Personal bias are not a reason to base your judgment. And while you score, please circle the numbers. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further delays, I would like to call for our first topic of the debate for semi-final round. And this time is the time that we are waiting for nearly 3 months. And our first motion today is, this House believes that Cambodia should reduce quantity of ministry. This House believes that Cambodia should reduce the quantity of ministry. And this motion will have to debate between the team Iceberg and team Laser BB. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin the debate, I'd like to invite Mr. Prime Minister from the proposal team to deliver their opening and constructive speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Prime Minister.
A study by the World Bank published in 2016 stated that the major reasons for low capacities of main ministry in Cambodia is caused mainly by low pay, low skill, and not enough budget for development challenges such as education and healthcare. This emphasized that the major reasons of ineffective public service delivery in Cambodia is caused mainly by the skill and the budget, ladies and gentlemen, not the number of the ministry that we have. And that is also the reason that we are here today in order to discuss on a topic saying that Cambodia should reduce the quantities of ministry. First of all, the quantities of reduce the quantities in this context means to make something less or smaller in number due to through both cuttings or assembling. As a result, the motion today means Cambodia should make the ministry to be less or smaller in number through both cutting or assembling. For that reason, the motion must stand. But first of all, Cambodia should reduce the quantities of ministry because it can save the national budget and reduce the budget deficiency. Second, Cambodia should reduce the quantities of ministry so that the government can reallocate the remaining national budget to the important ministry in order to improve their capacities. And third, Cambodia should reduce the quantities of Cambodia so that the government can reallocate their national budget to improve their staff ability to reform a better government system. First of all, let me say something about my first argument, ladies and gentlemen. According to the trending economics, from 1994 to 2015, Cambodia government budget average deficiencies is approximately 3.75% compared to our GDP. This means that each and every year, our government have to borrow or they have to depends on foreign aid in order to run this government and to run this government and substitute this over expenditure. Ladies and gentlemen, Cambodia, a small country, consists of 27 ministries. We have more ministries than most governments on this planet. More than Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, Zimbabwe, even China, United States of America, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. And ladies and gentlemen, the question right here, is that having many ministries practical for a small country like us to have such a big hat like that? It's not practical at all. It is a waste of money for nothing. Yes, please.
So my question is, which ministry you want to reuse, based on what perspective and why?
Very perfect questions, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, if we talk about the ministry, they will be created for purposes. But there are some ministries were created with not a really necessary situation. For example, the Ministry of Royal Palace, they have done various, for these situations, that is not really important to have the Ministry of Royal Palace at all. The money for the Ministry of Royal Palace supposed to go to the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Healthcare. Take a look, ladies and gentlemen, let's be realistic here. Take a look at our healthcare. How many of you, if you can support to go to Vietnam or Thailand to get a treatment, would you stay here? Nobody would ever take the kind of healthcare in Cambodia if they can't afford to go out of the country, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, most government around the world, they're trying to reduce the quantities of ministry in order to save the national budget. Myanmar, for example, they have already reduced their 36 ministry to only 23, and it was estimated to save $4 million for the Myanmar government every year. Ladies and gentlemen, and Myanmar also stated that when they reduce the quantities of ministry, they will not reduce the staff, but they will keep and use them to reinforce the important ministry. So to ensure that they can provide a better public service to their people. And those reasons are the reasons that make us stand here strong and firm to believe that it is the time now for Cambodia to reduce the quantities of our ministry. It should be the time for the smaller but a smarter government to take place. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Well said, Mr. Prime Minister. But before you said, you forgot to look at our motto. Our motto is national, religious, and king. If you eliminate the Ministry of Royal Palace, so who will facilitate for king? You? Nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, on the government side is debating on the motion that Cambodia should reduce the quantity of the ministry. But we, our side, don't think so. And Mr. Prime Minister have confused. First, he confused the whole motion. The whole motion means Cambodia should eliminate more than one ministry. And our keyword here, reduce mean eliminate. And he confused again that reduce the ministry can save money or save budget by merging or combine. Have you ever seen that? If one ministry have 500 staff and you combine with another ministry that have also 500 staff, so to sum up, they all are 1,000 staff that you need to pay the salary. Ladies and gentlemen, so here are the reasons that our side do not agree that we should reduce the ministry. Number one, Cambodia should not reduce the quantity of the ministry because it will affect to all Cambodian citizens. Number two, Cambodia should not reduce the quantity of the ministry because it will affect to all state officers. Number three, Cambodia should not reduce the quantity of the ministry, but we should find the clues, ladies and gentlemen. We should find the clues to run a better government. So, to prove that this motion is not right, let me think out our first argument is Cambodia should not reduce the quantity of the ministry because it will affect to all Cambodian citizens. As we know that citizens are the ones who pay tax. And according to Central Intelligence Agency, 78.5% of the household consumption is from 78.5% of the GDP is from the household consumption. It means that people pay a lot of money to the government because they want to receive public service back. No saying, ladies and gentlemen, so if we eliminate one particular ministry, so what will happen to all Cambodian citizens as the receiver? For example, if we eliminate the Ministry of Education, so what will happen to Cambodian citizens? No saying. Ladies and gentlemen, without education, people will face with illiteracy, unemployment, corruption, and all of this will lead to poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, I want this house to notice that one country can eliminate the ministry unless those country lack us budget to support to run those ministry, or some of the ministry make a serious trouble to the whole senior government. No thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, according to the World Bank, from 2011 to 2017, the economy of Cambodia keep increasing 7%. We can see that it is a good economic condition already. And we also can see that all the ministry work well together. That is, we have no reason to reduce the ministry, but we should find the clue to run a better government besides reduce the ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, so all the ministry, again, all the ministry have their own program. All the ministry are important. We cannot say that one ministry is not important. So we are here. We strongly oppose this motion, and we call this House to think that we should not reduce the quantity of the ministry, but our side have found a better solution, better than reduce the ministry to run this better government. We, opposition team, strongly oppose this motion. Thank you very much.
Respected judges, ladies and gentlemen, before I describe my argument, let me say something about what Ms. Speaker have said. She said that if we eliminate the Ministry of Education, we will be in trouble. But who say we have to eliminate the Ministry of Education? We only say that we reduce the ministry that is not important right now for the Cambodia situation right now. You all have to understand that Cambodia is a developing country. So Cambodia have to focus on the development issue such as education, healthcare, agriculture, and those things. And we don't mean that some other ministry is nothing, but we mean that some other ministry is less important than the other ministry, because we have to focus on a development issue that Cambodia faces right now. Ladies and gentlemen, and one more thing is, they said we can eliminate ministry because we can in the condition that we don't have enough budget. Yes, we don't have enough budget right now. We depend on foreign aid. You know, everybody, like my Prime Minister has mentioned, that we depend on foreign aid. So who say that Cambodia have enough money to support Cambodia themselves? We are depending on foreign aid. You have to understand that. And all ministries, yes. And now let's move to my arguments. As my Prime Minister has already mentioned that low pay, low skill, and not enough budget are the major reason for low capacity of the main ministry in Cambodia. That's why we are here to propose the second argument, saying that Cambodia should reduce the quantity of ministry so that the government can reallocate the remaining national budget on important ministry to improve the capacity. In this argument, we have two important points. First, better financial security. Second, capacity improvement. First, better financial security. As mentioned earlier, low pay is one of the major reasons for low capacity of the main ministry in Cambodia. At the same time, Royal Government of Cambodia also acknowledged the same thing. That is why they announced the increase in 2015 that they will increase the wage from $138 to $2,050 in 2018. As stated in Phnom Penh Post on 25 September 2015. And for that reason, in order to sustainably implement this policy without depend on foreign aid or affecting the national budget, reducing the number of ministries is necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, if Cambodia reduces the number of ministries, government will have more remaining budget to provide more incentive to subsidize the officials' family. Yes, please.
Speaker, can you explain me how less important? Can you explain us how less important of the ministry that you want to reduce?
How less important? Yes, ladies and gentlemen. As my Prime Minister has already mentioned, that the Ministry of Royal Palace, you know what they're doing? They just sell tickets for going to the Royal Palace and the Ministry of National Assembly, Senate, Relation and Inspection. We don't mean that it is not necessary, but it is not necessary for Cambodia right now. If Cambodia reduce those ministry, and if Cambodia growing up again, we will have that ministry. But in condition right now, we should not have it. Respected judges, ladies and gentlemen, training is one. Training and technology is one more important to improve the main ministry capacity. According to the Ministry of Public Works and Transport recently introduced the new technology of online registration that is easy for them to control all the data of all cars. To control the data of all cars and make sure they can avoid paying tax. Quick, easy, and more secure. But the problem is money again. So we strongly believe that by reducing the number of ministries, the government will have more remaining budget to implement technology and in training the staff for improvement the main ministry capacity. Better money, better government officer, better technology are the key for improving the public sector efficiency. Smaller but smarter. Thank you very much.
So well said, Mrs. Speaker. But she may seem look down at our Royal Palace Ministry, ladies and gentlemen. They said that sell that kid. But you compare Cambodia with other countries, we have no king, ladies and gentlemen. Our motto is national, religion, and king. If we reduce the Ministry of Royal Palace, who serve the king? And about foreign aid. So according to the Ministry of Economy and Finance, now today we increased the foreign loaning from minus 4.88 to minus 5.029. So respected judges, ladies and gentlemen, here is the negative effect. After we reduced the quantity of the ministry, came up with our logical second achievement is that Cambodia should not, Cambodia should not reduce the quantity of the ministry because it will affect to the Cambodian state official well-being. So anyone here, let me ask you a question. So anyone here, do you have your family, your relative, or you yourself who are working at the ministry? Yep, thank you. So state officer, they can be our high school teacher. They can be a policeman in our commune. A doctor who caught our illness. A soldier who stands along the border to protect our nation. They can be the professor here. So if you reduce the number of the ministry, so the first effect is them. How could they do their work, about their salary, about their money to support their family or their health care? So right now, let us elaborate how the effective work, how the effectives that cause to harm about the Cambodian state officer well-being. So according to the report of the Ministry of Civil Service 2016, there are more than 400 to 110,000 of state officers that are working in Cambodia, working at a different ministry, that they expect for their salary between 750,000 real to 80,000 real to support their family, to support their well-being, such as their basic needs, like to pay for the electricity bill, to pay for the health care, to pay for the rental house, to pay for the doctors or household accommodation. So what will happen if you try to reduce their workplace, to reduce their quantity of the ministry? They won't be able to support their family anymore. Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Speaker.
Yep.
So what I want to say is my team have already emphasized very strong that Cambodia should focus on the important development sector, such as education. And we did not name that we have to reduce educational system, not Ministry of Education, and you have to understand. And my question is, why increasing incentive, give insurance and health care to public servants is a threat to them? Thank you very much.
We from opponent, we just say that all the ministry in Cambodia are important, and we rest up about the big ministry as education, because we want us that knows that all ministry, they serve the public service to Cambodia. They're all important. No one is not important. So if you ask me like that, you have to question themselves that why on 2013 we separate the Ministry of Industry or Industry of Handicraft, because we want to serve the need. And they said about paying the health care or to them. So for state officers, they have no about insurance. We just provide them the salary. And they say that we waste too much about them, waste too much money on them. So don't anyone just imagine that if the state officer is your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, or you yourself. So if you reduce their workplace, how do you feel? How do they feel? Is it fair for them? Why not reduce other ministry? Why reduce our ministry? And so, respected judges, ladies and gentlemen, we will never know how things going through unless we put ourselves on their shoe and work on it. We, opponents, have studied and understand very much that our proposition have said is unpractical. To eliminate a ministry is not easy like to building a house. So how can we reduce the ministry due to the unreasonable raising up? Because we still take it to the tourists, and they are not provide the benefit to our country, so we reduce their ministry. So because they don't know about their benefit, they don't have learned a lot about their benefits. So ladies and gentlemen on the right, ladies and gentlemen on the left, we encourage of you to join our side. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to point 2 points from the Miss Speaker just have mentioned. First, you mentioned about job, and the second, you mentioned about the capacity of officer. So if your country want to give a job to the people, and you create more ministry, and another thing that it seems like you give us, you support us that, and you say something about our team that we mentioned that the Royal Palace government it's not important. It is important, but it's not right now. The ministry that we are focused right now, you should put your eye on education, healthcare. And another thing, you focus about the capacity of staff in the ministry, and this will help my argument to support the motion today. Respected judges, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain for the last argument today. My argument is Cambodia should reduce the quantity of the ministry so that the government can reallocate the budget of the national of the country to reform a public officer and to reform a better government system. In this argument, we will focus on 2 important points. First, the system. Second, is improve the capacity public officer. Ladies and gentlemen, this would be the best example in 2014 stated that in Cambodia, educational system is reforming by the ministry. And you can see that is a really, really good. Everybody except this one. And we have a lot of wise critical thinking from the minister. And among of them, we have 5. And the first one is reforming the salary. The second one is teacher need and supply. The third one is career path development. The fourth one is education management. And the last one is the capacity of career development of the officer. And as you can see that the staff officer is playing very, very important role in the ministry. You can see, we need that staff. We need that staff to serve our people. So that's why we come here today to propose the motion that this House believe that Cambodia should reduce the quantity of the ministry. For the second point of my speech today is the social value on public work. What does it mean to everyone in this hall today? What is social public work? Yes, please, thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sound like you support our side already. You say that state officer can support the ministry to run a better government, and you said that to work effectively. But at the moment, at the beginning, your Prime Minister said that it's merging. Merging cannot make the work effectively. So, how do you think about this?
I don't think, based on our research, we found that it is exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second, your question is help me to prove that more and more that Cambodia should reduce the ministry. The second part of my speech is your answer. Pay attention carefully. We are come here today to propose, and another point of my speech today is social value of public work. Have you ever noticed that some Cambodian people, when they want a job, they don't want to work. They want a job at the government. The reason why, they want reputation, they want rank, they want a status to show up to the common people. And well, I appreciate for those who don't do like that. I really do appreciate it. And as you can see, my Prime Minister have mentioned that we found out 4,000 ghost names, and the government wastes a lot of money, $2 million. And if you take that money, $2 billion, to focus on the important ministry, what would it be? It would be amazing, right? Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, everyone, notice that every month we pay the money to the government. We pay the money to the government. I pay the money to government more than I actually pay my money to my mom. And the reason we pay the money to the government, we respect the government. We respect the government. What we want from the government is provide us a good public service. Ladies and gentlemen, even we buy this water, even we buy the Coca-Cola, we have to pay tax to the government. Yes, we have to pay tax to the government. And what we want from the government is provide us a good public service. Therefore, the motion today, we strongly believe that public service from the government officer, we respect them and we want them to provide us a good public service. Smaller but smarter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Mrs. Speaker. It seems like that you are supporting our side already. You said that there's a lot of ghost workers, but why don't we fix all of those problems? Just only focus about reducing the quantity of ministries. Judges, ladies and gentlemen, what proposition team is trying to say is they want to reduce the quantity of ministries based on unemployment ground, based on budget or corruption in the ministries. However, they got confused, ladies and gentlemen. They have no means to run a better government. They have no clue to generate the revenue. That's why they're reducing the quantity of ministries is their best solution. But our side won't do that. And we believe that each ministry has its important function to deliver public service to citizens, as the proposition team has already supported. Each minister has its important function. As our leader have mentioned already that reusing, it's not easy. Since the consequence is it will affect to public service, to citizens, as well as the well-being of public officers. And therefore, our group are here to oppose the motion that we should not reduce the quantity of ministries, but what we should do is to find a clue for a better government. Ladies and gentlemen, first logical and solution is that we should find a way to reduce the corruption within the ministries. And now I will tell you a story which is going to talk about the biggest root cause in the ministry. Suppose that there are 1,000 state workers, 800 state workers come to work as normally, but the other 200 never come to work. In Khmer, those workers are called ghost workers, and government has spent a lot of money to those ghost workers. You see, the ministries of public service have found out that government has spent around $150 million to those useless ghost names. And ladies and gentlemen, focusing on reusing those ghost names is more practical and logical rather than just only focus about reducing the quantity of ministries. Ladies and gentlemen, to deal with this problem, we should strengthen each ministry Human Resource Department and also to lay out its action plan to get all of those state workers together effectively to do their tasks more functionally and efficiently. Moreover, to check the attendance of those state workers is more important. Since some ministries, they also provide the fingerprint machine to check the attendance. Moreover, the another strategy is to cut the capacity in tax collection. As we know already that tax revenue is very important to contribute to economic growth.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Speaker. My point is very simple. If you can buy this bottle of water for just 1,000 real, why do we need to spend 2,000 real to buy this bottle of water? My question is simple. If we can reduce the ministry and it still functions well, why do we need to have so many ministries and spend so much money like this? Thank you very much.
So that is simple. As my solution, we need to enhance the capacity in tax collection. In tax collection, ladies and gentlemen, not only to reduce the quantity of ministries, we have the other way. And now we are here to find you a way, to find you a clue to run a better government. As we have already said that each ministry has an important function. No unimportant or no the most important, but all important, judges, ladies and gentlemen. To deal with this point, with the tax collection, the Ministry of Finance have also adopted a new strategy in reforming tax collection by provide the internal and external auditor as well as to punish the state officer who corrupt in tax collection. As we found out that there are many ways, not just only reducing the quantity of ministries, we have the other way. Why we just cut? Because as you already asked, we both know already that government play an important role to provide public services to citizens. If one ministry will be reused or two ministries will be reused, there will be the lack of deliver the public services. Ladies and gentlemen, to prove this, we have already guide you some clue already. Therefore, please join us. Please join our side. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Speaker, for a entertaining afternoon, for trying to confuse us many things, put many things in, and try to confuse and saying that at the end of the day, saying that we support her side. Yes, thank you very much. So, first of all, let me point out the first things, staff. As I have already mentioned in my first things, I say we don't reduce the staff, we reduce the numbers of ministry. You really have no idea what is happening in Cambodia? There's 240. There are 244 cabinet members. You go there and search for Google and count it by yourself. Yes, thank you very much. And second, her second argument, affect the officers' well-being. Well, if increasing their salaries and give them incentive, insurance, and healthcare, affect their well-being. What are the government are doing? The United States government, they also provide incentive to their staff and provide health care to their staff. And does that affect their well-being? I did not see the point here. And the second part about attendance, about checking attendance, they use the technology. So if we say like we keep 27 ministry, so let's just assume like we use only 27 fingerprints machines. So it's going to be a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. But what if we say we just keep to 23? So we have to use only 23 fingerprints, and we will save another 4. That's a very simple example. Just look at the trophies, ladies and gentlemen. Why it have only 2? Why not 4? Why not 1 for each debate champion? That is the value of that champion. We have to have one important and the department down there. And to run that, we need the staff, the capable staff. That's why we focus mainly on saving. Reduce the ministry. First, saving. Save the money. Save for what? Save for giving them more salary. Give them training. Ladies and gentlemen, equip them. Number 4, equip them with technologies. And the last one, we focus very strongly that to give you the solution, we focus on the government system. We have to improve it. And to improve the government system, it's very important to have the staff, the capable staff to do that job. And that's my team point out very clearly that. And the last point that he also mentions, well, a very interesting part is about the attitudes of the worker, of the civil servant. He points out very clearly that make them feel proud that they worked in the public sector to serve the people. And that's why they deserve respect. That's why people pay the tax to support their salary. Ladies and gentlemen, this is now the time for us to form a smaller but smarter government. Join us. Thank you very much.
Well, you said that you don't see. I think that you didn't see or you pretend not to see. That's why you got confused yourself and make this house confused. I want to tell you that the cabinet is the government officer, not the state officer. You confused Mr. Prime Minister. And Mr. Member also said that he has spent a lot of money to the government, more than your money. It's time you support our side. You pay for the government because you want to receive a public service. Ladies and gentlemen, from your first class until your 12th class, you study in the public school, right? This is because the government provide public school to you, Mr. Speaker. And ladies and gentlemen, sound like the government side is lack of the ability to find the clue, to find a better solution to run this government. That's why they stress again and again that reduce the ministry is their best solution. But our side don't think so. They have provided a lot of better solution to run this government, ladies and gentlemen. And we already know that's why we raise up 3 arguments to support our side. First, because reduce the ministry, it will affect to Cambodian citizens. Because we know that 78.5% of GDP is from the household consumption, is from the people. So if we reduce, who will affect? Of course, it's people who are the taxpayer. That's why we need to pay well treated for them. And the second argument is, ladies and gentlemen, we should not reduce the quantity of the ministry because it will affect the state officer. Yes. And the third argument is, we also provide better solution to run this government, such as strengthen the tax collection ability, to reduce the corruption level, to strengthen the financial and staff management in each ministry. That is our better solution than there. They just only based on reduce the ministry is the best solution. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't make sense. And we opposition side strongly oppose this motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for both teams. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you are asked to remain silent for 2 minutes for our judge to proceed the score. The our organizing committee, please take that note for the calculations. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for both teams. You may exit the stage and waiting for the result. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, after the first debate for this semi-final round, it's not end. We still have another motion, which is the second motion for this semi-final round. Ladies and gentlemen, our second motion today is Cambodia students should choose major that match with the local and regional market rather than their preferred market. This house believes that Cambodia students should choose majors that match with the local and regional markets rather than their preferred markets. And this motion will have to debate between Team The Moon and the Three Charming Force. Now, I'd like to invite the second team. Please welcome The Moon and the Three Charming Force to be on the stage. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'd like to our contestant to introduce themselves by addressing their name and their role. Please start from the proposal team first.
Okay, first of all, let me pay my highly respect to all venerable men and respected judges, and a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And my name is Im Bun Hee, and I'm the Prime Minister of the proposition teams.
And foremost, let me pay my highly respect to venerable monks, a very good afternoon, respected judges, and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ms. Pauline. I am a deputy of Prime Minister. Thank you.
Respected venerable monk, respected judges, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Khan Supek Kanya, and I'm the member of the proposition team. Thank you.
And gentlemen, my name is Ratsanita. I'm the leader of opposition teams.
Firstly, I would like to pay my high respect to venerable. Good afternoon, judges, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ian Manat. I'm the deputy leader of the opposition team.
Firstly, I would like to pay my high respect to venerable monk, respected judges, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sokra Suchita. I'm the member of opposition team. We are the Three Charming Force. We come to share, not to fight. Thank you.
Thank you so much for both teams. ladies and gentlemen, to begin the debate, I'd like to invite Mr. Prime Minister from proposition team to deliver his opening and constructive speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Prime Minister.
Once again, respected judges, and a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For the beginning of the debates, for the Cambodia Civil War was ended in 1998, Cambodia is rapidly developing in progress. In education sector, according to the report of Ministry of Education, have reported that both of public and private educational institutions in Cambodia have increased to 105 and has many mayors for the student to choose. But if you take a look back to the Cambodian student that finished high school, they are still fuzzy about the dilemma decision concerning with choosing major to study. So, should they catch up with the major that fit with